Wednesday's practice is in the books, and man, it felt good to get some guys back on the football field that we haven't seen in a game or two, guys that will certainly have an impact in this upcoming wild card matchup against Philadelphia, but it comes with a cost, and I'm going to talk about that in this video. First, I would love for you guys to leave your comments. I did a live stream show on this channel all draft, this last draft, and I know some of you were a part of that. I'm thinking about doing another live stream show prior to this upcoming weekend's game. Thinking about 2 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, doing it for about an hour prior to the game. Leave your comments with a thumbs up if you think you would plan on being there, or a thumbs down if you can't make it. That way I know whether or not it'd be beneficial to do a live stream or not. Let's talk about Wednesday's injury report. So on Wednesday's injury report, Brenton Cox Jr. was a limited participant. Man, it felt good to get that guy back out there. I think he's an important piece to Jeff Hafley's schemes when we start talking about putting pressure on the opposing quarterback. I think Brenton Cox alongside Rashawn Gary are the two most important pieces to do that. Kingsley Enagbare is a honorable mention when it comes to putting pressure on the opposing quarterback. Getting guys back like Evan Williams is super important to Jeff Hafley's defensive schemes, especially going against a Philadelphia wide receiving core that's as talented as they are. Guys like Evan Williams alongside Xavier McKinney, who I think that is one of the better safety duos in the NFL. So having him back is super important to this Packer defense. Romeo Doubs, very encouraging to see him back out there as well. And then you get Quay Walker, and that's the piece that I start talking about where it comes with the cost, because the cost is you're going to have to bench Eric Wilson. And I don't like that because I think the Packers defense is better with the Eric Wilson out there. Really wish they could move Quay to the end alongside Edgerrin Cooper. By the way, Edgerrin Cooper named NFC Defensive Rookie of the Month. Not a surprise because that dude is an absolute beast. What a pickup for Brian Gutekunst in this last year's draft. Same thing with Evan Williams. Two most important pieces to this Packer defense. A couple of rookies alongside Xavier McKinney and Rashawn Gary. That being said, I'm curious what you guys think about that. Am I off base? Because I think Quay Walker, so you look at his PFF score of a 57.5, but you don't have to look to the PFF score. Your eyes don't lie. When you watch games, the dude he doesn't seem to be putting himself in the right position. He can get in the backfield and he can get pressure. That's not a question. And the dude has athleticism, off the charts. I just don't like where the Packers play him. And I think the Packers defense is better with Eric Wilson out there. Eric Wilson has an overall PFF score just slightly better than Quay Walker at a 65.8. Let's take a look at the stats a little bit more in depth for Quay Walker. He has a poorer pass rushing grade than Eric Wilson. Let's take a look at Eric Wilson's. He got a 71 as opposed to Quay Walker's 65.5. Run defensive grade of a 67.9. He's slightly better, meaning Eric Wilson is slightly better than Quay Walker with a 68. He's got 2 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 46 solo tackles to Quay Walker's 3 sacks, 80 solo tackles. So I think Eric Wilson is better. I think the Packer defense plays better with Eric Wilson there leading, and I hope Jeff Hafley can at least get Eric Wilson in there as much as possible to keep the offense of Philadelphia on their toes. Speaking of Jeff Hafley, I know a lot of you leave comments on here saying he's nothing more than a 2.0 Joe Barry. I disagree with that greatly because I think the Packers defense is much better than they were last year. They are way more aggressive than they were last year. They rank 4th in takeaways with 31. Run defense, they've allowed 106 per game. They rank 8th. Last year, they weren't even in the top 20. Yards per game, the Packers rank 5th this season. They are certainly much better with Jeff Hafley as the defensive coordinator. Yes, he didn't make a great decision this last week against Chicago when he went into that prevent defense. But hopefully, guys, everybody is allowed to make mistakes. It's what you do with those mistakes. And I really hope Jeff Hafley has learned from that. Let's take a look at the Packers depth chart. Again, when we start talking about the linebackers here for Green Bay, they're going to be getting Quay Walker back. Edgerrin Cooper is an important piece of the puzzle. Isaiah McDuffie, he's okay. I would really like to see Eric Wilson Edrin Cooper, Quay Walker out there as the primaries. Leave your comments. Again, let me know if a live stream is going to be important, or you think you can be there. Thumbs up or a thumbs down. And as always, go Pack Go.